Catus, Maximus here. This time a quick review of these TacTix brand sockets. These are Chinese, and I guess the long and the short of it is looking at the prices of these things online, and somebody in a comment on one of my videos had mentioned this brand and how they're actually showing up in some either small chain or independent shops. They must have like drug pusher level salesmen, because these are essentially Harbor Freight Pittsburgh tools for twice the price and generally aren't recommended. But I did buy one of the cheapest things I could find, which was this 1/4 inch socket set. $10 for a 10-piece set, or $1 a socket. And it's just the fact that they're like Chinese Pittsburgh quality, but they're charging like twice as much. They're charging quite a bit of money. But like, here's an example where we can just see that the chrome plating isn't quite consistent from socket to socket. I will admit that they do have some deep roll stamping there. Pretty decent undercuts. They are fluted drives with little ball retention recesses, and are fluted on the working end. Right here you can really see the difference between the chrome plating. So these things just seemed a little bit cheesy, and I was just really surprised. You know, they wanted, at least online, $17 for just their basic 1/4 inch ratchet, which seemed just a bit crazy to me. We can compare these to a couple other sockets here. I've got a Napa Carlisle, even got myself a, my one snap-on socket. I will say the snap-on doesn't do much recessing on the square draw or the square end, but here would be just a look between the TacTix and the snap-on and the Carlisle. Of course, the snap-on is a little bit shorter and just a little bit more compact, but we can obviously see these are just kind of I guess the intention is more of a matte finish, but they just don't give me quite the same feeling. As far as diameter, I can already feel that they're just a little bit thicker than the snap-on. And the Carlisles are actually quite thick, but they seem to be exactly the same diameter. Let me get some calipers and see how the sizing measures up. All right, here we are. This is supposed to be a 9/16, so this would be, what is it, 5? It should be 0.562. So as I'm measuring in here, get it down to the smallest size, we're getting right about 570 there, so that's okay. Let's see how the Carlisle does. So they seem to be following essentially the same standard, although the Carlisle, if I can get this, it's kind of difficult to measure the inside there. About the same. The Carlisle may even be a thousandths larger. Now I'll admit this snap-on socket is a little bit used, but it's even a 1/2 so the snap-on definitely is a tighter fit. So generally, I guess they're just okay, but I was just kind of disappointed when I heard about these and then saw that they were essentially just overpriced Harbor Freight tools, all made in China, but they were charging just quite a bit more money. And it really started to get crazy when you got into the deep wells, because they wanted $40, $50, $60 for like 1/2 inch drive deep well sets, and I'm like, you can get Harbor Freight Icon for those prices. And so that's kind of the disappointment about these, is that they are a really cheap brand, but they're being sold in stores, or the salesmen are convincing these retail stores to sell these things, as well as all over online. Probably on a similar premise where they just get these super cheap, like this 1/4 inch set they may have paid $5 for or something for the wholesale cost. And they're basically just selling them as that, Harbor Freight quality tools, but that you're going to charge more money for. Higher profit margin, so these places pick these up because they just see dollar signs in their eyes, but it's just really kind of cheesy that they're selling these pretty low quality tools for just outrageous prices. So even though, I think they generally work, why pay more for Pittsburgh tools when you can just go to Harbor Freight and get Pittsburgh, and then you get your no questions asked warranty. So anyway, that was kind of my general review of these TacTix brand sockets. Is just the fact that I think even though they appear to generally be okay, I think they're kind of taking advantage of people by selling these in places where people have trust, and really they're just pretty looking Chinese sockets. And there's some other things. There's absolutely no mention of a warranty on this. Who knows how you're going to deal with a warranty on these sockets. Many, I'm sure, of the places that they sell these will just either deal with the warranty themselves or tell you to deal with the manufacturer, which would probably be basically impossible. And I really wish so many of these outlets would stop just, trying to get the race to the bottom to get still have a tool aisle. But in order to do that, they can only get just the absolute cheapest tools that they can find. Seems a little crazy to me. Why even have a tool aisle if your sales are so low that the only things that you can stock are bottom of the barrel products? Seems kind of pointless to me and just does yourself a disservice. Anyway, that was my kind of ranty review of these TacTix sockets and TacTix tools in general. I did go into the store when I was looking online, they have a whole array of tools, and I did see some stores that do stock them, and their photos show aisles full of these things. So it's like, my goodness, turn away. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.